Welcome back to Relatable Reactions, it's Josh, and we're back with the final episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Previous episode was really good episode. We travelled back with Din to where Grogu was, being taught by Luke about becoming a Jedi, I suppose. He was obviously trying to bring Grogu a gift of the Mandalore armor, and basically the whole episode revolved around teaching Grogu, coming up with what will have to be, I suppose, the final decision for him to make, whether or not he wants to stay and learn the ways of being a Padawan, or does he want to become a Mandalorian? Does he want to, basically having to choose his creed, which is, a big decision, because obviously he's still a child. Whether or not that will come to fruition in this episode, if we will see the outcome of that choice for the final scene, which I feel like we will have to. I don't think they would have left it on that just to cut it out completely, or to be left untold. So I'm certainly interested to see what happens there. But obviously this episode, I presume, will be focused on the Pikes and Cad, who look like they're obviously trying to take over Mos Espa. So I presume this is going to be the big battle, with Boba trying to basically put his foot down and show that he's the leader or the ruler. What else do I think could happen? This whole Rancor thing. I imagine we've got to see that at some point. I don't think they would have referenced it without it coming up again. Obviously he has this agreement with the other sort of houses or crime families about not stepping in. Some reason I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case, because it never is. But yeah, just looking forward just to getting in and seeing what happens in this final episode. So without further ado, let's just get right to it. The Book of Boba Fett. Let's go.
We'll lock down at the palace.
It's a bad idea.
Is there that many people in Freetown to make the difference?
Palace offers greater protection.
If you want to abandon Mos Espa and hide in your fortress, go ahead. We're staying.
We'll stay.
You returned so quickly. Was your venture successful?
To convince the Marshal to remain neutral.
Yes.
In his own personal way.
Does Fett have any other resources to call upon? He used to live among a Tusken Raider tribe in the desert.
They no longer exist. We destroyed them ourselves.
Yeah, it was them who did that then.
The Fett Gatra is taking refuge in the ruins of the sanctuary.
I think I have an idea how to draw Boba Fett out.
In the name of honor. That sounds like a duel to me.
It's an X-Wing. What's an X-Wing doing here?
Yes, it is.
Hello, officer! Hide it! Officer!
That's R2-D2, isn't it? Grogu, must be.
Did they teach you how to fly an X-Wing already? I know an astromech flew the ship. Grogu? Whoa, that's a terrible name. Sorry about that, pal. No way am I calling you that. What do you have here, huh? Something
Oh, he's got the
shiny.
chainmail on.
Look at you all fancy.
The truce you negotiated with the other families of Mos Espa will ensure that they will remain neutral and allow us to gain the upper hand by surprising the arriving soldiers.
I just don't believe they'll stay neutral.
Lord Fett, there is someone here to see you.
I thought you said nobody could sneak up on us.
Cad? Yes, it is.
I'm here to negotiate on behalf of the Pike Syndicate.
I don't negotiate with gutless murderers.
If that's not the quack to calling the stifling slimy, I wouldn't be counting on the people of Freetown to be coming anytime soon. I paid Marshal Vanth a visit. You should have never left him without his armor.
Something feels strange over here.
Have the Pikes arrived?
Not yet, but something feels off.
Yeah.
I thought we had a treaty. So did I.
It was never going to hold.
Santo!
I'm sure they all
Santo,
make
come
far
in.
too much money off the spice. There's the translations. Every one of them have broken the treaty by the looks of it. Oh shit, not these two. Okay, they're dead. Something. He won't go down so easily. Here come the pikes.
Suppose you'll be heading out. I'm not. I gave you my word. I'm with you until we both fall. You sure you want to stay? This is the way.
This is the way.
I shall go as your emissary. I have no compunction whatsoever, genuflecting or even groveling.
He is very good at that. Very good. They're just using him as bait. Pretty good duo. Oh, nice. Poor guy. Did he deserve that? It's a lot of bullets for one guy. Who's gonna save him? Oh. Who's this?
The people of Freetown.
Freetown. I'm not quite sure how this was supposed to change the tides in general. There's not many of them.
I'm sorry about the Marshal.
Gunned him down in cold blood.
We still don't know if he's dead, do we? Did he die? Ooh, the bikes do look a little out of place. He's a beast. Ain't no stopping Santon. Oh. Come on, get to cover. Get to cover.
I owe you a nice long soak in the bacta tank when this is done.
They're falling back!
That he does. Never cheer too early. Never cheer too early.
I wouldn't celebrate yet. We got problems.
Big problems.
We got real problems.
Maybe Grogu can do something? He's got to turn up at some point. He is here. And fine. Yeah. No, not even that.
Our energy weapons can't get through and our kinetic weapons have too much velocity. We need reinforcements. From where? You've run out of friends. Protect the others.
The Rancor? But would that be able to do anything to these? Oh, they are split up at least now.
Bingo! We found you! I got a surprise for you!
Turn around!
Now you do. Time to go.
Look who's here!
Hey, what are you doing here? Oh,
Oh,
okay, little guy.
force jump right to him.
I didn't know when I'd see you again. Stay hidden until the fight's over. Hey, that's the shirt. You got the shirt.
At least Grogu's a little bit more protected now. I like how he saves Grogu, the one person that's could probably survive that. The Rancor. It's like Godzilla. Ooh, it's pretty strong.
Don't move. Let me handle this.
Grogu, you know he's not going to listen to that. He dropped the dark saber. I just love the waddle. Come on, use the Force, Grogu. Crush it. Okay. Not quite what I was expecting, but he's helped. He has definitely helped. That's one down. Oh, no, don't kill it. That's two down. Cad Bane.
I've known you a long time, Boba. One thing I can't figure. What's your angle?
These are my people. I will not abandon them.
Like the Tuscans.
Don't toy with me. I'm not a little boy any longer. And you are an old man.
I'm still faster than you.
Still faster in shootout.
You tried to go straight, but you've got your father's blood pumping through your veins. This isn't the first time I beat you out on a job. Consider this my final lesson. Look out for yourself. Anything else is weakness.
Tuscan stick.
I knew you were a killer.
Oh, he's dead. Don't shoot at it though, it's just gonna make it worse.
You're scaring it! Put your blasters down! Stop shooting!
King Kong now.
Keep him safe.
Well, who's gonna keep me safe?
Here,
Oh.
hang on to this. It's gonna be okay.
I like that she still had her missing tooth there. Oh, not quite the rider Boba was.
Where'd you go, kid?
Is he soothing its mind or putting it to sleep? I'm glad they didn't have to kill it. Just Fennec Shan will turn up. I forgot about her completely.
A hospitable place to do business. Half of my men were either shot or eaten by a rancor. Is that what you call hospitable?
Well, all the crime families are dead now. Oh. Oh, that's a brutal way for doing it in Star Wars. Just hanging the fucker. Certainly respect him now.
Why does it have to be the right arm?
You should take a nice soak in the Bacta tank.
It's being used.
Who's using it? Chrysanthemum?
We are not suited for this.
If not us, then who?
Okay, so it's definitely not him using it. Cobb in it then? Cobb's the only one that I could think that might be in it. Back together again.
No.
He just wants to be there with you.
All right. But this is the last time.
Definitely won't be the last time. Oh, what a great episode again. There's Cobb. That's the modding guy, isn't it? Mecha Cobb? What are we getting with him? Interesting. There we have it. The end of the Book of Boba Fett. And again, another action-packed episode, this one. I mean, for the majority of it was just action. And it was exactly what we thought it was, the fight for Mos Espa. And we got everything kind of answered. Everything that this show's been leading up to in the first few episodes. It's kind of come full circle. We kind of got answers for the most of it. I kind of wish maybe there was like one, maybe they had stretched it to 8 episodes and they'd had one more sort of building up a little more to this big fight. And maybe we could have seen him training the Rancor a little bit. That is something that I really wanted to see. And I presume he was doing it while we were kind of flashing back with the Mando scenes. But it would have been nice to have seen a bit of context to that. But even with the minor flaws, and you know, I've seen other people nitpicking stuff out of it that didn't really affect me because I'm not as attached to the Star Wars universe as a lot of people. I'm not as nitpicky, and there are lots of things that I don't know. Like, I didn't know much about Cad Bane, and you know, so there were lots of things that I didn't know. I've only sort of learned through watching this and watching other people talk about the show. But from my perspective, I think it worked out because it's given me an affinity for this or for Star Wars that I never thought I would have, or like before, never really cared about Star Wars. I was never that fussed, but watching this, it's brought me into this world that I do want to know more. You know, and I've seen lots of people say how, oh, it'd be so confusing if you'd never watched Star Wars. And granted, I knew little bits here and there, and I've seen like little pieces of stuff throughout my years of living, because it's pretty much impossible to not catch some sort of Star Wars thing in your life. So I did have some context for things, but it made me fall in love with it that much more, I think, and there's so much more that I want to learn, going back into the past, going into the future. You know, I look forward to exploring more of the Star Wars universe, and this being my first major entry into it, you know, I think it worked out quite well. We obviously got Grogu returning, which I did think was going to be his choice. I mean, obviously even Luke referenced that he didn't feel like Grogu's heart was in it to be a Padawan, to learn the way of the Jedi, and he obviously made that decision pretty quickly because he turned up right away, ready, and we got to see him use some of those Jedi powers. I wonder how this goes going forward, because they always reference how it takes many years to learn the way of the Jedi. So I presume that Grogu's never going to fully get a hold of these powers. Will that affect him in a bad way or a good way? I'm kind of interested. What's people's opinion that have obviously know a lot more about Star Wars than me? Will that affect him in any way? Will he have moments where he struggles with the Force? I don't know. But I suppose it opens up a lot of questions. I presume with the ending of them flying off, they're going to Mandalore. Obviously he wants to go to is it the mines of Mandalore that you have to go to the underground stuff, sort of rite of passage for forgiveness. And obviously he holds the Darksaber, which is, or what has been told to sort of means you're kind of the rightful ruler of Mandalore. So he's obviously going to try and go back and try and reunite everything that's happened there. Obviously I'm not too sure on all of that, or the lore, or what's going on Mandalore at this point. So I'm certainly interested to see what happens in what will be season 3 of The Mandalorian, I suppose. With Boba Fett, I honestly have no idea where he goes from here, if that's going to be sort of the end of his story. Will he just continue to look after Mos Espa? Did sort of reference that it might not be for him, which was a bit weird. I kind of wonder if maybe there will be more to it. I'm not sure if there's going to be another season of this. It doesn't feel like a show that necessarily needs a new season. I've seen some people call it like a limited series into the story of The Mandalorian, which makes more sense for the way it was structured, with a few of the episodes focused on The Mandalorian and not necessarily on Boba Fett. It seemed like it was just tying up other story and threads, which, you know, I have no problem with. I mean, like a lot of people, I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Boba Fett. Same way I would have liked to have maybe seen a bit more of Cad Bane. And maybe that, if they had fitted in that sort of extra episode, they could have shown a little bit more of those two. But that's just a personal thing, and I'm sure some people will agree, some people will disagree. And it's something that I just don't care to even argue about, because, you know, I enjoyed it. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? You know, in some ways I'm probably kind of glad that I haven't seen as much Star Wars as a lot of people, so I don't get so angry about maybe decisions they've made, like the Power Rangers. I've seen a lot of people hate that, and I don't hate it. I think it's quite fun. It does feel like a little out of place, and those bikes are incredibly slow. Maybe they could have changed that up a little bit, but again, it's not something that I personally care too much about. Like, some people seem to despise it and think it ruins everything, which I think is a little bit dramatic. But at the same time, you know, everyone's got their ideas of this universe and have followed it their entire lives, so I can understand why they might have a little bit more to say on the matter, which is fully understandable, because everyone deserves their own opinion about things. But yeah, overall, solid. Really enjoyed it. You know, it's brought in a new fan to Star Wars in me. So, you know, if that's something that they were trying to do, they certainly achieved it with me. And I think that should make any Star Wars fan happy, that there's something out there that made someone else fall in love with a show that they've loved for years and years and years now. But yeah, so thanks for anyone that has stuck and watched this with me. I know there's not a lot of you, but it still means a lot for anyone that has. And I hope you've all enjoyed, and I will catch you for whenever I do something else, Star Wars related probably. But thank you very much, and I will catch you later.